So as Donald Trump continues to pick his cabinet of clowns, he has chose RFK Jr. to be in charge of our health. Yeah, they're going to make America healthy again. And he says, go have fun with it, Bobby. You know, I got to be honest with you guys. I was holding on to one little shred of hope, just one, that maybe, just maybe, Trump would snub RFK Jr. Maybe, because he's snubbed people before. He's definitely used and grifted people before. So maybe Bobby will be the one that gets the snub. But no, tit for tat, he endorsed Trump. And so now Trump is going to put him in charge of our health. And he says, just go have fun with it, Bobby. And there are people out there in MAGA land who are super excited about this, not realizing the ripple effect that it will have and not realizing all the people, including themselves, who will be affected by this. Now, I've said that I wasn't going to show clips here on the channel for a while. I don't want to show clips of Trump being an asshole because we all know he is one, and there's no point in reminding you guys. You guys know he is. And we've learned clearly that showing MAGA doesn't mean anything. But I do want to show the hypocrisy. I want to show the hypocrisy of how now suddenly they're all for Bobby just having fun with it and running wild. But when it was Michelle Obama trying to help with the food that our kids eat at school, they were singing a completely different tune. Do you guys remember this?
When I heard this, I thought, get your damn hands off my fries, lady. If I want to be a fatty and shovel French fries all day long, that is my choice.
We're going to have, the government fining us if we use salt.
Coming up straight ahead, all this talk about the government taking salt away from you because it's so bad for you. But aren't there good things about salt?
I hate the government getting involved and telling me what to eat and not to eat.
Food police. Do you think the government should regulate the ingredients in the food we eat?
Can't we make our own decision about whether or not we want to salt our food?
All right, an Obama government obesity task force. Does every American family need a dietitian appointed by the government to tell them that this food is going to make you fat and this food is not?
So they used to be all for the government having no say in it, and now they want Bobby to just have fun with it. And that is the hypocrisy of these people that I cannot stand. And that hypocrisy is what drove me to eventually sit down in a chair like this and start doing this type of content, because I just couldn't sit back and watch people be so blatantly hypocritical and watch people in my part of the world that I do still care about. Even now after all of this, I still love the people that I grew up with. I hate seeing them duped by this clown and his clown show. I don't want to see them suffer because of it. So it's always been that hypocrisy in their politics and that hypocrisy in their religion that just said to me, you can't sit here and be quiet. You can't be the one that goes along with this. Or you can't be the one that sits and quietly goes along with it either. You got to speak up. And over the years, I have had people reach out to me and say, you know, Brando, when I first started listening to you, I didn't agree with anything you said. But you're starting to make a whole lot of sense, and I'm starting to see through things. That's why I sit in this chair every day. That's why I do it. I've had people walk up to me before the election. A guy walked up to me in town and said, hey, ain't you Brando? And I said, yeah, I am. You never know how it's going to go in my part of the world. You never know what someone's going to say. And this guy said, well, I just want to tell you, I follow you on YouTube. I'm a subscriber. I said, oh, thanks, man. He said, I don't agree with the words you say. I said, that's fine. You don't have to. He said, but you make me think. And I said, well, I appreciate you telling me that, and I appreciate you subscribing. That's all I'm trying to do, man, just trying to make some people think. He said, well, you have. And he walked away. So I'm trying to make y'all think here. I know how a lot of people in my part of the world feels about vaccines. And I know that they have no faith in science or medicine whatsoever. But you have gave the keys not only to an unqualified person, you've gave the keys to someone who, they all, by the way, want revenge. They're all so offended and angry that we've held them to account and that we've called them out on their BS. They're so angry about that they're just dying to run wild. So you've got a guy who's not qualified, number one, and you've got a guy who believes in all these crazy conspiracy theories that there's not a shred of evidence for, a guy who only believes in the studies that he handpicks to believe in, and that's the guy that you want to put in charge of the things we eat. That's the guy you want to put in charge of our health. These are the people who have who have said that people should drink raw milk. And I want to follow real quickly by saying, do not do that. These are the people who have said so many dangerous things, and said so in the middle of a global pandemic when people were dying all around them. And all people like us was ever trying to do was to rein it in and say, can we be a little bit more responsible with the information that we pass and the misinformation that we pass around? Can we be more responsible with that? That's all people like me, and that's all people like us in the pro-democracy movement were ever doing. We weren't trying to take away anyone's First Amendment right. We weren't trying to silence anyone. We weren't trying to censor anyone. We were trying to be the adults in the room and say, hey, wait a minute. We are in a serious crisis. Before you share that, before you say that, why don't you make sure that there's truth behind it? And if it's just some random thing that some random guy cooked up somewhere, why don't we wait till we hear from the experts? Now, I know they don't trust the experts. I get it. But that's all we were ever trying to do. I've sat here and made video after video of RFK Jr. I've showed you guys him telling the Cub story to Roseanne, and even her looking at him like he's nuts. I don't have to sit here and show you clips and talk about RFK Jr. and the level of crazy that he is. And I don't have to point out that his own family has, disowned him and doesn't claim him and thinks his ideas are terrible. But to anyone out there who's still listening at this point in the video and disagreeing with every word I said, if the dude I bumped into in Walmart, hey buddy, if you're still here and I'm still trying to make you think, just because he's a Kennedy and just because he might have once been a Democrat does not mean a damn thing. I want y'all to understand that the labels that we put on ourselves, they're irrelevant now, okay? Saying Democrat, Republican, progressive, liberal, all those labels, they're pretty much, I mean, you can still say where you stand, so we kind of have an idea, oh, they're more progressive, or oh, they're more conservative. You can use those, but they're really irrelevant at the end of the day, because what we're doing now is we're having to stand up not only for the truth and for democracy, but for basic sanity. And we're having to stand up to people who are vengeful and spiteful and wants to destroy all those institutions that you don't trust. And you know what? I get it. I understand why a lot of people don't trust certain things. There's certain things I don't trust. And I'll go ahead and own it, folks. You know what? Brando's not too fond of taking shots. I really ain't. When I go to the doctor and they say I need one, you need some blood work today, I don't really like that. I really don't. But I do it for my health, and because I didn't go to med school, I don't know what the hell's going on. I just know that I've been feeling a little weird lately. I know I've been feeling sick. I know something needs to change. I just use my common sense. And that's all any of us are asking here. But yeah, Bobby, have fun with it. And I'll be honest with you. When I read that, I said to myself, that'd probably make a funny song. And then I said to myself, I can't laugh at this shit. Because it's too personal to me. It's too personal to me. This one stings. It's too personal. I've told the story before. You'll have to forgive me. I don't have it in me to tell it again. But I buried 2 people myself. I buried their ashes. I loved them dearly. They bought into the RFK Jr. stances. So the idea that now he is going to be making decisions for our health, it sickens me to my core. But I do thank you guys for tuning in every day. And I want you to know that I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you for sharing my videos, sharing the songs that I'm able to write now, and helping us to continue to move this conversation forward. We hit over 400,000 subscribers. I'm truly grateful for that. I'm grateful to all of you. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit the button. And I always say, leave a comment if you feel like getting in on the conversation. Leave a blue heart if you don't. Let me know you're doing okay. And let's just sit back and continue to watch. And let's continue to see where it goes. And let's continue to be on the right side of history. Because at this point, that's all we got left. All we got left is each other, folks. So let's be sure we stick together.